What's up everyone? This week on Just Jason Keto and More, we're making some really tasty meatloaf waffles. So let's get started. Okay, so to make these meatloaf waffles this week, we're going to start off with 2 eggs. They're 2 large eggs. I've got just over 2/3 of a cup of pre-cooked ground beef. That's just lean ground beef. I've got 1 strip of leftover bacon here. I've got just under half small onion here that I've sauteed before we make this recipe. And then I've got some of these pork rinds here. That's just these baconettes pork rinds that I blitzed up in my mixer just to have like breadcrumbs kind of thing. And then we've got some salt and pepper. Again, you could add any kind of seasoning you want to these waffles, but we're just going to go with salt and pepper. And then I'm going to add some of this habanero hot sauce just to give it some heat. So let me get set up here and we'll get mixing. Okay, so we've got our 2 eggs ready to go here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add in the ground beef. Now again, this is just over 2/3 of a cup of pre-cooked ground beef. So we'll get that in there. We'll add in the bacon, because we all know everything's better with bacon. That's obviously optional. Same with the onions. If you want to keep these carnivore, you could keep the onions out of it, but I'm just going to add those in for some flavor. Or you could add some onion powder and garlic powder. You know, really the sky's the limit. Whatever you like to put in your meatloaf, we could add in here. And then we're just going to add some of these ground up pork rinds here. I'm not going to add them all just yet. Just we'll see how the first bit turns out. Then we're going to add in our salt and pepper, and we'll start mixing this up here. Now while I mix this up, I just wanted to let everyone know, and I'll put a QR code on the screen, that we have a merch store for the channel now. It's on TeePublic. Again, I'll put a QR code up on the screen so you can go check it out. We've got a few fun designs over there on t-shirts and hats and whatnot. So if you feel like having something fun to support the channel, go check it out. Let me know what you think. So yeah, that's getting pretty well mixed up in there. I'm not sure how many waffles this is going to make, probably at least 3, maybe 4. We use 2 eggs in this recipe this week because we're adding quite a bit of volume, quite a bit more than your regular sort of chaffle recipe. Now the reason I'm not calling these chaffles this week is because there's no actual cheese in the recipe. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a few drops of this habanero sauce. I quite like this habanero sauce. It's a pure habanero sauce from the Niagara region here in Ontario. It's really tasty, and it's just habaneros and olive oil. Really clean ingredients and really tasty. So that's our mix ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the Dash Minis warmed up, and we'll start cooking these waffles. Okay, so the Dash Minis are all nice and preheated here. So we're going to start adding our meatloaf mixture into them. Again, I'm not sure exactly how many we're going to get out of this. It looks like it's going to be at least 3, maybe 4. Now we don't want to fill it all the way to the edges, or it's going to wind up spilling out and making a mess. Try and make sure you get some of that bacon and onion well distributed in the waffles here. So we'll just spread that out a little bit here. And then we'll close up these Dash Minis, and we'll be back in 4 to 5 minutes.
Many minutes later.
Okay, it's been about 4 minutes, and the steam has pretty much stopped coming out of the Dash Minis here. So open them up. As you can see, these Meatloaf Waffles have turned out really nice. They actually look quite like chaffles, but there is, like I said, there is no cheese in these. So we're gonna get these out of the Dash Minis and we'll put them aside on a wire rack and let them cool down a bit before we try them. So those two are out. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna see how much more mixture we have here. See, I mean, if we can just get one more waffle out of this. Yeah, it's looking like it's just gonna be 3, but that's fine. So yeah, if you wanted to make more of these, you just obviously increase the amount of ingredients that you mix up. Get the last of the egg in there. Okay, so we'll close that up and we'll be back when it's done. Okay, so here are our meatloaf waffles, nice and cooled down, or at least enough to give them a try. Now again, these don't have cheese in them. Now you could add cheese to them if you want, I suppose. Probably turn out just as good, but as you can see, I don't know if you can see the ground beef and onions and bacon in there. So again, this is ground beef, onions, bacon, a bit of ground up pork rinds, just as a binder, and then 2 eggs, salt and pepper, and a hot sauce. So yeah, let's give these a try, see how they turned out. Yeah, so those turned out really good. They've got a great meatloaf flavor, and that hot sauce gave it a good kick. Now you know, the sky's the limit with recipes like this. You could add some sugar-free ketchup to it. If you're used to having ketchup with your meatloaf, you could put any kind of topping on it you really want. You could use these as buns for certain sandwiches. So like I say, I give that a thumbs up. Turned out really well. If you like these kind of recipes, consider subscribing, hit that thumbs up. We release a new recipe video every weekend, and then we go live every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So until then, keep on thriving, my friends.